Alright, hey y'all, we're gonna do some composite figures. So first I want you to label the sides of the directions. These are your steps. So step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. And I am gonna go fast because I already made this video once and it was 20 minutes long. So I'm gonna go fast to shorten your video. So you're gonna have to press pause a lot to get all this written down because I don't think anybody wants to watch a 20-minute video. Alright, our first direction is we need to take our composite shape and split it into two shapes. So this shape is going to turn into a rectangle and a triangle. I'm going to split my box so I have two sides going for me. I have a rectangle side and I have a triangle side. The area of a rectangle is area equals base times height. The area of a triangle is base times height but divided by 2. Alright, so the next step is that we're going to plug our numbers in. This is after I wrote down the formula. Now I'm just going to simply plug the numbers in. I'm going to keep this split. So on my rectangle side, I have my base, which is 20, and my height, which is 1.3. So I'm just plugging those numbers in. So I'm going to have 20 times 1.3. On my triangle side, I have the base of my triangle, which is here, which is also 20, because I know these two parallel sides are equal to each other. And my height comes from here, which is 8. So I have a base of 20 and a height of 8, and that's being divided by 2. Your fourth step is to solve. So again, I'm keeping the split into my two shapes. I have a rectangle and a triangle. On this side, now guys, honestly, y'all would be working this out and showing all your multiplication, etc. But for the sake of the video, I'm just going to tell you that when we multiply, when we multiply this, we get 26. So area equals 26. Our units are feet, so it's specifically 26 feet squared. On my triangle side, I need to multiply 20 times 8 first. So I'm going to get 160, and I'm dividing that by 2. So take 16 and cut it in half, you'll get 8, and add your zero back on to get 80. So your area equals 80 feet squared. Alright, the point of this is we just found the area of the rectangle shape by itself, and we found the area of the triangle shape by itself. To get the total area of that composite figure, we're going to add our two areas together. So we're going to take 26 and add 80 to it to get a total of 106 feet squared. Alright, moving on to our next shape. I'm going to cut it into shapes I recognize. So I already see a half of a circle. If I cut it over here the same way, I get another half circle. Well, two halves make a whole. So if I add my halves together, I'm actually left with a whole circle. So I'm going to treat this shape like one whole circle and then a rectangle. Alright, so we have a rectangle and we have a circle. A rectangle and a circle. Again, area of a rectangle is base times height. Area of a circle is pi times r squared. Remember, this means radius. And then this means that we're squaring it, which means you take the radius and multiply it by itself. This weird looking thing is pi, which is 3.14. Alright, now we're going to plug our numbers in. On our rectangle side, I see that my base is 8 and my height is a 2. So I'm saying 8 times 2. On my circle side, pi is pi, which is 3.14. Now, my radius is half the diameter. They gave me a diameter. I went from one edge of the circle to the other edge, which is 2. I need to cut that in half to get my radius. So my radius is going to be a 1. So I'm taking 3.14 and multiplying it by 1 and then squaring it, which really means 1 times 1, which is still just 1. Alright, when we come down here to solve, I have my rectangle, and this was supposed to be a circle. So on this side, I'm doing 8 times 2 to get the answer 16. On my circle side, I'm doing 3.14 times 1, which is 3.14. I need to take my two totals and add them together. because remember I'm looking for the total. So I would line my decimals up when I'm adding decimals. I bring my decimals straight down, and you would get a total. The area equals 19.14 feet squared as your final answer. All right, moving on. I said this was going to be fast, so hopefully you're pressing pause and taking good notes. All right, my next shape. This looks like a Kona ice cone to me, a snow cone. So I see a half circle, and then I see a trapezoid right here. So I'm going to use those two words. I'm going to use semicircle, semicircle, and I'm going to use trapezoid. All right, a semicircle is taking a full circle and cutting it in half. So area equals pi r squared divided by 2. My trapezoid is area equals 1/2 base 1 plus base 2 times the height, or area equals base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2. I'm going to show you this way. There's two options, but I'm showing you where we're just going to divide by 2. All right, plug our numbers in. Our radius that we need for the circle. Well, they gave us the diameter again. They gave us from one edge all the way to the other edge. So my diameter is 12. The radius is half of the diameter. So I need to cut this in half, which means I'm dividing it by 2 to get a radius of 6. So I'm going to say area equals 3.14 for pi times 6 squared. I'm dividing that by 2. And this is the semicircle side. On my trapezoid side, I have two bases. I have this base up here at the top and this base at the bottom. And then my height is right here, which is 10. So I'm going to do area equals 1. No, I'm sorry, I was showing you the other way. Let me erase that. So I'm going to do area equals my base 1, which is a 12, plus my base 2, which is an 8, times my height, which is a 10, and I'm dividing that by 2. Okay, that was just plugging in. So now we're going to solve real fast. That is very ugly. It's not a trapezoid. All right, so on my trapezoid side, I'm doing my parentheses first. I have to add my parentheses first. So 12 plus 8 gets me 20. I'm multiplying that by 10 and dividing by 2. Now I can multiply my 20 and 10 together to get 200, and I'm dividing that by 2. 200 divided by 2 is 100. So that's the area for my trapezoid. On my triangle side, don't forget that this means 6 times 6, which is 36. So I'm really taking 3.14 and multiplying it by 36 and then dividing it by 2. And now remember, this is where you would really have to be doing all this awesome hard work of showing all your multiplication. But I'm going to tell you 3.14 times 36 is 113.04, and you're dividing that by 2. Once you divide that by 2, you're going to get 56.52. Now that I have my two areas, I'm going to add them together. Again, I need to line my decimals up. So it should look like this. 0 plus 2 is 2, 0 plus 5 is 5. Bring my decimal straight down. 0 and 6 is 6, 0 and 5 is 5, and my 1 comes straight down. So your area of this composite shape is 156.52. My units are inches, and it's squared because I'm finding the area. So that's your final answer for this shape. All right, one more, guys. I'm going to take this shape, break it into 2 so that I see a trapezoid and a rectangle. So I'm going to say trapezoid, zoid, and rectangle. On my trapezoid side, my formula is area equals base 1 plus base 2 times my height divided by 2. On my rectangle side, my area equals base times height. That's simple. All right, let's plug our numbers in. On our rectangle side, area equals base times height. My base is a 10. and my height is 4.4. From here to here is my height of the rectangle. On my trapezoid side, my base 1 is here, 5.5, and my base 2 is here, 10. So I'm going to say area equals 5 plus 10. I'm multiplying it by the height and dividing it by 2. Now, my height, you notice I didn't write it yet because I'm not sure what my height is. I know that from all the way up here down to the bottom of the shape, it's 8.4. But that's this whole shape. I only want the trapezoid height from here to here. I know my rectangle height is 4.4. And if I know that would match this piece right here, these two pieces are parallel from each other, I'm going to take 8.4 and subtract 4.4. And I'm left with 4, which would be just this height piece right here of the trapezoid. So my height for the trapezoid is actually 4. Alright, now when we're solving this, this is my trapezoid side, and this is my rectangle side. On my trapezoid side, I have to follow PEMDAS, which means I'm doing 5 plus 10 first, which is 15, and then I'm multiplying it by 4 and dividing by 2. 15 times 4 is going to give me 60, and I'm dividing that by 2. If I cut 60 in half, that means my area is 30. On my rectangle side, I'm doing 10 times 4.4. Anytime you're multiplying, you can just move your decimal one place to the right with however many zeros you have. So I have 1 0, so I'm going to move my decimal one place to the right. So my area equals 44. Now I'm looking for my total, which means add. I want to add these two shapes together, so I'm going to take my trap and add it to my rectangle. So I'm doing 30 plus 44 to get a final answer of 74. My unit's is centimeters, and I'm squaring it because it's area. All right, there's a full shot of all your notes. Please make sure everything is filled in. Please reach out to your teachers if you are lost, totally confused, stuck, if I went way too fast, whatever. Hope y'all do great. Love y'all. See you tomorrow. Bye.